So on this channel, we've been accused of being overly optimistic about the Vikings, the purple-colored glasses, the purple Kool-Aid, just drinking and guzzling, all that stuff. And whenever we see something negative written about the team, even if we think it's correct, we try to approach it with an open mind. Now, we generally don't consume a lot of other content because we never want to be accused of lifting or sampling ideas. But this one caught my eye. Chad Graff over at The Athletic, who's a phenomenal writer, gets after man. But this one was interesting. So he wrote about it's hard to see where the Vikings roster has improved in free agency, NFL draft. Right. So we read the article and we thought it was like, hey, maybe, writers generally don't write headlines. Editors do. It's like, maybe this is the hook. Maybe this just to get people to hate read. And it's actually a piece about how good the Vikings roster is. Not so much. So we have some refuting and some rebuttaling to do here. So we want to list off the Vikings offseason positions of need. So we got cornerback, safety, interior offensive line, tight end, linebacker, defensive interior, edge rusher, wide receiver, right? So just shooting from the hip, back of the envelope map. We want to walk through is like, where did the Vikings improve this offseason? Now, is this all a hit piece on Kirk Cousins? Possibly. Possibly it was, but I mean, just walking through, like even the most staunch Vikings hater or Vikings fan who likes to root against his team, I don't see how you could go through and just be like, hey, no, they suck here, they suck there. So at cornerback, we'll start at the top. So the loss, Mac Alexander. Okay, and also the jettison Rashad Breeland last season, so no muss no fuss there. They brought back Patrick Peterson on an extremely team-friendly deal. They brought over Shondon Sullivan, who's going to be great in the slot. They brought over Nate Hairston, who has a lot of experience with Ed Donatel, the new Vikings defense coordinator, so that's a win-win-win no matter what. And then you pile in, you get Andrew Booth Jr. in the second round, first-round talent at 42, so that's fantastic. And then you got a Caleb Evans, who's got length and potential for days in the fourth round. That's a win. That's an extremely solid W there, where you turned a position, just a dearth of talent, into one of the best positions on the team, very in short order, right? Number two. So you got safety. You lost Xavier Woods, who was pretty solid last year, played every single defensive snap for the Vikings, sure, but you lost him to Carolina. Whatever. You didn't sign anyone in free agency of note, and then you drafted Lewis Cine in the first round. So so basically you're swapping out this very fun on a rookie deal, hard hitter, young player in Lewis Cine for Xavier Woods. I'm okay with that. So check that off as a win. Interior offensive line. Now, part of it was saying like, hey, you didn't do anything to supplant Garrett Bradbury, which may be true, but are they potentially going to use some of the guys that they signed at the center position? Possibly. Or Kyle Hinton? Possibly. So you lost Mason Cole, signed with the Steelers. Whatever. You lost Rashad Hill, a veteran swing tackle, could play some guard as well. So then you signed Chris Reed, formerly of the Colts, who played phenomenal last year in place of Quentin Nelson. Great spot starter, could also work in at center. You got Jesse Davis, the former Dolphins right tackle. Horrible right tackle, pretty solid at guard. And then you got Austin Schlottman, who has a ton of experience with Chris Cooper and Justin Riscotti and the new offensive line cadre, right? And then you draft Ed Ingram in the second round. Now, pass protection prowess, yes, absolutely. That's what you want for days. So I don't see how you could say, like, hey, we lost Mason Cole, and then we brought in Reed, Davis, Schlottman, and Ingram, how that's not a net positive. I just don't see it. Now, yes, Garrett Bradbury remains, but overall, the interior offensive line greatly improved. 4, tight end. So this is the only position that I could say that the Vikings net lost. So they lost Gronklin and Chris Herndon. Gronklin, kind of a big loss, but were you really going to pay him? Especially with Irv Smith Jr. coming back, I don't know. And then you signed Johnny Munt coming over from the Rams, right? And then you signed drafted Nick Muse in the 7th round. Nick Muse, I think his athletic upside, I think he was a great value in the 7th round, yes. But also you could add in Irv Smith is coming back. So is that an addition by addition? I think so. But yeah, I could see just net-wise how a tight end position didn't greatly improve. 5, linebacker. So off-ball linebackers. So you lost Anthony Barr, whatever. Nick Vigil signed with the Cardinals, whatever. You signed Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals, a veteran interior linebacker who's going to do great things. And then you drafted Brian Asamoah, who's just a guy who's going to get after just a whirling dervish tornado of heart and hustle and getting it, right? So that is a plus. You jettison Anthony Barr and his big-time contract, and you moved on, right? 6, defensive interior. So you cut ties with Michael Pierce, new regime. They didn't sign Michael Pierce. They didn't do this. They didn't do the other thing. So whatever. And then also Sheldon Richardson still floating out there. I could take or leave Sheldon. Would like to have him? Yes. Harrison Phillips is fantastic value at his contract, as well as the versatility to play every single spot along the defensive line. You absolutely love to see that, man. 7, edge rusher. Oh, and also you brought in Otomehu as a 5th-round pick. So you're going to be fine there at 5 tech. 7, edge rusher. So you lost Tayshaun Bauer, yawn. You lost Everson Griffin. He needs to focus on other things. And you lost Cheeseburger Eddie Yarbrough. That's it. That's it. And then you brought in Zadarius Smith across the river on a great team-friendly deal. He actually technically took less than what he would have signed with the Ravens. If that back is good to go, man, baby, you got a stew going. Especially in the new defensive scheme where it perfectly fits what he does well. Yes, and then you brought in 2 very fun UDFAs in Zach McLeod and Luigi Villan, who I think could become decent edge rushing contributors down the line. So yeah, that's definitely a plus there. And then finally, wide receiver. So you lost D.D. Westbrook, whatever. You lost Chad Beebe, whatever. And then you drafted Jalen Naylor, Speedy, in the 6th round. That's a plus. That's an absolute plus, because every time Jalen Naylor returns a punt, I don't think I'm going to be holding my breath like D.D. I don't know, man. I don't know. But so just going through, wrong. There we go. So just going through position by position, like I don't understand it. I don't see the logic. Just going through who you lost, who you signed in free agency, and who you drafted. How 7 out of the 8 big-time positions of need for the Vikings weren't markedly improved. I just don't understand it. You could say tight end's a wash, but then again, I also say that Irv Smith coming back is also a net positive. So I don't understand it. Like, I understand that negativity sells, and it's a great way, because negativity sells because it speaks to people who just want to be miserable and negative, and also you get people who want to be positive to hate read. So I guess that succeeded there, but no, I don't get it, man. I do not understand it at all. But let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. The Athletic says the Vikings roster hasn't improved this offseason? Question mark? Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts on the Athletic's thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.